It's nothing but the voices in my head telling my circuits to leave you dead. Yellow, blue, green lights turning red. It's probably just a robot in my flesh, and I'm more than just a robot. I'm the Reaper. I'm more than just a robot. I'm the Reaper. I'm more than just a robot. Enough of it's the robots that want you dead. It's just the programming, or maybe it's bloodthirsty.
Hey guys, welcome to the lab. Another episode of Sundaze with the Clink Room, joined by my two good friends, Eric and Donavan. Guys, how you doing?
What up? Thanks for having us, Leon.
Yeah, thank you so much, bro.
I've had you guys on in the past individually. I think I've had you guys on together in like a group setting, but I've never had you guys on at the same time, just solo. So glad we're able to do this this Sunday for everyone. But for those who don't know, you two hosts of Monday Evening Critz. We've had a plethora of co-hosts and stuff, but you guys are the remaining two. So I thought it'd be cool to number one, get you guys back on the show, and number two, kind of give people a little bit of an origin story and kind of give you guys your flowers too. So off rip, how did MEC Monday Evening Critz kind of come to life, and what inspired you guys to start hosting it?
You preacher.
Well, I mean, I started because I loved the show that you guys did, and then you guys stopped doing it because of all the delays. And I remember asking Pierre one day, like, could I do this? And he's like, I don't care. So I started doing it with Flashy, and yeah, we've gone through a couple co-hosts for varying reasons, but I think everybody has a good time. But it just started because I love Clink Room, and met Eric. He loves Clink Room. We love the art. We try our best to be helpful and not tear things down, but also try to be real about it.
Right.
And I think that gets at least me in trouble sometimes.
Yeah, I think it gets us both in trouble.
Yeah. I didn't want to speak for you, but probably.
That's fine. It's all good.
I'll say though, from judging from far and watching from far, I do admire the raw unfilteredness, because here at the end of the day, what you guys say and what you guys criticize, I don't ever think it's personal, and I don't ever think it comes from a place of ill intent, if that makes any sense. So I do admire that. For me, I've caught myself. I'm Canadian, so naturally
you're nicer.
I confrontation. So sometimes I'll say, like, I'm not sure if I like it, but in my head I'm like, yeah, I don't really like it. Or you guys, I look up to you guys in terms of like just being real and saying what's on your mind. And for me, I try to sugarcoat and I try to do it halfway, and sometimes that's not a good way either. But maybe the middle of the middle is where we should all strive to be.
It's funny because no matter how you do it, if you do it nice or if you do it mean, somebody's gonna have a problem if you don't like it. It's very personal, right? You're putting art out there and you want everybody to like it. But you can learn. I think I've personally probably learned the most from the negative stuff. Like, that doesn't make sense. It sucks to hear. It sucks to fail, but it is a better learning experience than everybody telling you everything is awesome.
Yeah, and I think people getting a thick skin, because not everybody's going to like your art no matter what. And I understand that you should have like a safe space for your stuff, but at the same time, you have to be able to take criticism. I would hope that even the negative criticism, even if like sometimes my loud mouth gets me in trouble or his does as well, that at least if it burns you, I hope don't take it personal, because it's definitely not personal, but I hope it burns you in the direction to become better. Because at least that fuel for my fire is what fuels my fire. So that's, to me, is the way I look at it. I don't look at it as negativity. It might be negative on the piece that you're working on, but you know what? Hate me and become better.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what does it, it never comes from. It always comes from a place of love, whether love for art, love for the Clink Room. But admittedly, it's like, we're biased. We want to see the stuff. Well, I want to see the stuff that I think is cool on a hat, and Yeah, I mean, sometimes my opinions differ from other people's.
Yeah. It gets tough too with like when we all have like certain relationships with clinkers. We're closer to others.
Yeah,
Others we can't see their stuff. But like like for us, it's like given the choice, you would rather the person you have a close tie to or a working relationship with, or someone who supports what we do. We want to see those people do well.
yeah.
So it gets tough sometimes to separate the personal. But can you guys remember like what your first kind of exposure to the Clink Room was that kind of hooked you into like wanting to get into the community?
I remember the first Clink hat I bought was the first pre-order I ever bought, and it was from Hat Club, and it was the Hillside Sea Devils.
All right.
And that I was a little bit aware of Clink before then, but I was not into pre-orders. But I had been buying from Hat Club, so I knew I could trust them.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, well, pre-orders work. Let's go to Clink Room.
Yeah, right. I found out about it from Hat Club. I was looking for a lot of PMD, like classic, like New York hood clothing that I wanted from when I was a teenager. And I found this New York City hat. It's like, I forgot what it's called, like Death City or whatever. And Hat Club had it. I went to the store and I picked
Well, that's a great hat too.
Yeah, Fear City.
Fear City.
Yeah. I still have it. Yeah, so I have that hat, and then I walked in, and then I never saw like I guess a minor league, logo before, and it turned out I talked to John about this. It was Wind Up Ink Park's design for them, and I bought it, and I was like, this is so cool. And then I slipped from there into Clink Room, and I was like, wow, this site is awesome. This is the best thing out. I went home that night and I put I think 6 or 7 on pre-order. And it was like within the first 6 months, I Clink open up. And I was just like, this is the best place ever. I remember I was so happy.
Yeah.
It was one of the happiest things I think I had ever found on the internet. I'm not just giving it its flowers. The way it made me feel was just so happy because I always collected. I'm not a sports fan. I'm not. But I used to have every college logo when I was a teen into my early 20s. Because I just love the logos themselves. I love, Miami U. I love, any university that had a cool character, I wanted on a hat.
Yep.
And to be able to find somebody was doing that originally that wasn't linked to sports was a big, big deal for me.
Or even could be. Some of them are, some of them aren't. Some of them are music, some of them are sports, some of them are just animals. That's the thing, is there's sort of something for everyone.
Yeah. So that's how I found it, and I haven't looked back since. So
I think that's part of their mantra that got a lot of people into it, right? I mean, some people say it sarcastically now because for them to be different. Yeah. And it's very hard to see a Clink Room hat in the wild, So I think that's what initially a lot of people were attracted to it, because it's they are limited runs. You had to get on the pre-order. You kind of had to know, and then now I have it. You're too late. Sorry, you go find it yourself. So that collectability, I think, always roots the collectors or attracts the collectors within the thing. Have you guys ever offhand are there any designs you can think of that once you saw it in hand from the mock-up that damn, I was wrong?
I was really, even though I ordered it, Impact sticks out because nobody was sure about. I think that was one of the first silhouettes with the scene in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody was sure about it, but I happen to be one of the ones that took the leap, and that was one where I was like, whoa, this surpasses all expectation. Honestly, I bet the same is true for both of you. I've only had a handful that were underwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of 300 or so, there's only been 3 that I'm like, this could have been better,
I think the underwhelming part happens when you take an image that looks huge on the mock-up, and I think some clinkers have figured out just make it bigger, but practically we know it's basically a 3-inch by 6-inch, so you have to shrink it down. So it's this doesn't look like it. But I mean, for the
Yeah.
most part, I think they nailed the stuff. But Eric, what were you gonna say?
I didn't have anyone specific. There were just so many that after I was kind of concerned. I was like, wow, that's gonna be hard.
The one you're wearing.
And then, yeah, I mean, yeah, the one I'm wearing. I didn't know how it was gonna come out, and it came out totally different than I thought. And I think it looks amazing. A lot of people love it. So, just in general, there are just so many that I'm constantly surprised at what he's able to pull off. True. Really is. Some of the things I'm like, no way. And then there are ones I'll see and I'm like, I can't believe I missed that. I thought there was no way that was going to look good.
Yeah.
And
I think the single objects for me are the ones that are easy to pass by because you just see them, you're like, okay, whatever. Like when you see them embroidered, you're like, oh man, like
Mhm.
In terms of your guests, so you guys have been running multiple years now. Do you guys have a GOAT guest or a moment that you guys would like to share?
I mean, it might just be because I hear the intro sometimes, but is that what the fuck we're doing right now?
Yeah.
When I went crazy one time, I'm sure that was a memorable moment for anybody there. But I mean, we really just appreciate anyone who comes on, and maybe it's a consequence of my being talkative. But I think the biggest problem with guests is that they are hesitant to speak up. But some of them, like Mr. Dome Pieces Taylor, like he matched the energy. So like that's what I enjoy, is somebody who's not afraid to interrupt.
Yeah. I don't know. I like. I mean, in terms of shows, that just because I do all the back end when we run it. So I think things that are memorable for me are when we have like that one time we had like 5 guests on, because I was losing my mind because I'm like in the background, like trying to get everything set up. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Highlights things that like happen. I really liked when we did the MEC Awards. It made me really, really happy. I was kind of like, things were going bad in my life just before all that stuff happened, and like to be able to we didn't get to do it this year, but I hope to bring it back this coming year. But like, I like being able to make something handmade for the other artists so they had awards, because like, you know, I do think that, you know, the money is great. You know, I'm sure everybody's happy that they sold hats and they made a side income from it. But like, I don't know. I just want to honor those people who really put their heart and soul into it, and like they make so many great hats that like make me happy. So like doing that for them makes me happy. So that being able to present that and seeing everybody be happy with it was like a memorable thing for me. Yeah.
I think that's a good shout. The reason we didn't do it this year is like kind of engagement, because of, you know, some things that happened with the page. We weren't having the engagement at the time, but yeah, I mean, I think you're right. And part of that is that, at least in our case, because I think, Leon, you get probably more collectors than we do that watch, but when it's an award from us and it's voted on by our audience, it's like an award from your peers, really. Because it's mostly designers, almost entirely.
Yeah, that's cool. There was
getting a hat to Milos was kind of a big deal too. When Eric,
I mean, you guys got him. You guys got him the award too, and you guys had to figure out the logistics for that. And shout out for you guys for doing that.
All Eric,
yeah. One thing. So this was an idea that was pitched to me for a segment, and I was like, man, that's a lot of work. But I think you guys would be better on. So hear me out. I'm gonna pitch you guys a segment. You guys can use it, not use it, whatever. But
okay.
I think someone asked me, like, why don't you do a segment showing the changes from the Critz entry to the final pre-order, like comparison, like a side by side, like, okay, you know, we'll use this week's example.
Yeah, there's a great week for it.
Yeah, Riptide was a bloody wave. I think there's a cross on the surfboard. Now it says RIP. You know, small stuff like that, so that you can really break down and I guess analyze, you know, one from another. Now, with that, you may get the avalanche of like people like, oh, why did they change? And they shouldn't have changed and whatever. But I mean, that's a segment I'll pitch to you guys. You guys can use it if you want.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah.
It's informative, right? Because they make the changes for a reason.
Yeah.
They're not, if they could have it their way, I'm sure they'd just love to have the image and be like, "Yep, let's run with this." But the fact that they went in there, edited the file, and changed it, like there was a reason for it, whether it's for embroidery's sake or content. So I think that's a great idea. This week was every one that made it changed.
Yeah.
One.
Cool.
Great idea. Yeah, we might have to do that. That means I'll have to do something. I'll take screenshots or something.
No, you just find all you have to do is you find the Monday Morning Critz entry, and then you just put it beside
by side.
And you're good to go.
Yeah.
All right. Rapid fire questions. Worst color combo you've ever seen?
Oh man. Maybe throwing heat because it's so hard to wear, but the logo's so good. I think the fact that the logo's so good makes me mad. I still wear it, but that might be one.
I can't. I mean, I can't think of one specific off my head, but anything for me with the red. I do not like red crowns. Period.
Yeah, like red and yellow usually. Although that robot is pretty good.
My favorite is the only red hat I like and I own.
Yeah.
But I love it. It's my number one.
All right, most underrated Clink designer.
I mean, there's a couple of people that come to mind, but right now probably Soundwave Zach, because I think he puts out a lot of cool stuff that doesn't even get to chance in crits. Other than that, maybe there's a lot, but maybe Josh Voles because he's one of my favorites in general.
I don't know. I'd say 14.8.
He's one of them too.
I'm trying to think who else. You know what? Like, I'm not gonna. I don't know. Bueno's Biscuits has started putting back stuff out, and I think there's something really said for his natural drawing style. Like every time I see him put something out, I think about his cow, like uttered whatever it was with the cow with the udders everywhere. I think that he's underrated, and I think his stuff would be.
Yeah, you almost want to say Phil, but he's not underrated. He's just underappreciated.
Yeah.
All right. Design trend you're most over.
It's funny because I just did one, but the silhouette with the off-center figure, like the scene with the figure in the front. Yeah.
I don't know anything with the skull on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite undervisor color not named green or gray.
You just killed Creature because it's
going to be green really easily.
Only green.
For me, I love green and gray. Like
mint, maybe mint's pretty nice. I like
I would say gray or yellow. Mint. I know just to make Creature pissed because he doesn't like yellow under. I actually don't mind them.
Okay. Favorite crown color to see on a mock-up.
Ooh, on a mock-up, I think navy almost always looks good.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Yeah, I'm gonna go with him. Navy for sure.
All right. Most overused color in submissions.
Teal.
Well, black probably. Black.
Okay. All right. Best side patch of all time.
All time?
Yeah.
2000 Braves All-Star Game.
I don't know sports, so.
Clink related.
Clink related.
Best Clink.
I was like, I have no way.
The classics one and then the bone one.
The classics one. Yeah.
All right. And then best front logo of all time. That's the last one.
Oh man. There's a lot. One that kind of sticks out is Toxic Traits, the one by Jake. It just looks so freaking nice in hand.
I'm just trying. I can't. It's so many.
Jellyfish Bloom. Not to shout myself out, but me and Lee, that one's really nice too.
I don't know. I really do like Boombox.
Which one's that? The Lane one?
Yeah, I have it right.
With the Statue of Liberty?
The one where he's like blowing the dynamite, right?
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
I you know what? I don't like the crown color, but they did put this back out in black now, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I should have got that in black, but I do like orange. So yeah, I still one of my favorites. That or caffeine power too. Well, and maybe anything from Aurelian's line. So we're gonna have them all. Yeah. One.
All right, yeah. They go together. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right, man. Thanks. Thanks for doing that. Like, I know that we're so used to doing our own shows and kind of, just trekking along and creating the content that we don't really get to do stuff like this that often. So
yeah, it's fun to mix it up a little bit. It's some of those should be simple questions, but it's like, wow. I mean, there are so many good logos, just so many.
Yeah. But all right, cool. Let's cover the week that was. So, I gotta share my screen. I didn't share my screen. Rookie mistake. All right. So Clink had themselves some fresh colorways. I wasn't sure how they were going to label this, whether it was going to be like one of those kind of collector, curations. This was the first time we've seen someone kind of curate a pack that was just strictly one artist. But now that Taylor's part of the team, they just named it Marlin Week, which is fine because these are all Marlin designs. Right off rip, what was your kind of reaction to these 6 hats? We'll start with Eric.
I like the Neon Chief. I like the pack is. I like how cohesive it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the colors were chosen were good. I think Taylor helps whomever else is putting the pack together really curate something special.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've been liking them more and more.
Yeah.
Every time they put out a new fresh colorway pack, I've been liking them more and more. But yeah, I like the brown with the Neon Chief. That's my favorite of this pack. Some of the Taylor likes a lot of bright colors, which I tend to stay away from. So, but still, in general, I think it's Neon Chief and brown. My jam.
For sure. We'll break down individually like each hat, but Donnie, what was your kind of like first reaction to like seeing this pack?
I'm sort of like I have like some people might call it a negative tilt, but I knew it was going to sell because this theme sells.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And people just like the native stuff. So not surprised. I do like the choice of the logos. I think he did a good job there. And like Eric said, he mixed up the colors, but there's kind of like a minty theme to them.
Yeah.
So
mint in some way.
Yeah, I mean, you could even argue. Yeah, you could even argue for it. But it's nice. Like this isn't one of the things that I tend to get. I don't tend to get the Native American stuff, but it's hard to deny, especially Chief Red Cloud, how amazing that logo is. Yeah. Anybody's gonna like that.
Yeah. Another way that we can kind of generate or kind of gauge the hype around a pack, quote unquote, is like how many people ask like when they drop in like the BTS or BST group, the buy sell trade group, and then like how do I become a VIP and help me like what's left and like kind of like posts like make sure you VIPs leave us pleb something and stuff like that. So we knew it was going to be big then, and I think like the free lollipop right away was like the one that everyone was going for, it seems like. So I mean we might see a bunch of them in a couple months in various colorways. I mean, it would be smart to do it like while you can, but these things are very hard to forecast, man.
No.
I mean, free lollipop would still sell. Like, I saw on there, people were like, "Man, I missed out on it. I hope they release another one." So
yeah. So we'll see. But let's break them down each 3x3. So Neon Chief, Red Cloud, Free Lollipop, and Plastic Warrior. What kind of stands out to you, Donnie, on these 3?
Red Cloud, but also the full metallic on the Free Lollipop. That's metallic, right?
Yeah, copper, I believe.
I mean, they don't do much of that, and that really stands out in their catalog. I'm sure that looks great in person. Like, do you know? I hope this isn't an inappropriate question, but do you know who did the art on these? Like, that is another thing that jumped out to me. And again, like maybe I'm negative, but I wish I know he has the ideas and he probably does some of the art, but he worked with designers on these. I just wish they would get their credit, you know, a little bit.
So I don't know if this is a hard and fast rule because I don't know it to be always true, but I feel like if it just says Marlon, for me, I assume Casey is involved.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's my assumption because there's other times where it's Marlon and someone, and then you'll see the artist if it's not Casey. But I don't know if that's 100% always the case. I know it kind of started that way, but
I think some of them are like flat feed, like, okay, you know, whoever will be like, well, you want to do this design for X amount of dollars, and then they kind of do it for them. Yeah,
that background stuff, I have no idea. I never talk to people about that stuff.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I just like, as somebody who I'm weird about credit, like I want them to get their credit if they deserve it. That's all.
I mean, you guys always have a scoop. I'm watching y'all show on Monday, and you're like, you know who got a contract? Oh, that's I let me find out on Friday, guys. I can't.
I'm too nosy.
Yeah, but these three: Buffalo Nickel, Thankful, Resball. Eric, what kind of stands out to you here?
I don't know. Resball is, I don't know. It's nice to see it up again. One thing I like to touch on the whole pack is that I really like you have Buffalo Nickel and you have Resball. They feel like they're supposed to be together, and the Plastic Warrior and Free Lollipop stand together. So like it's almost like a pack broken within a pack, like two separate packs within a six-fold, which is great. So that's, you know, but yeah, like Resball, something I didn't get to pick up originally, so like I'm happy to see it in this colorway. So I'm gonna go grab that.
What's cool to me too is that you kind of see Taylor's kind of influence. So like, you know, that like if you know him, you kind of know that he kind of started, you know, collecting hats, whether it's like Hat Club or kind of those trendier stores. So like to me, like I can see the influence in his color choices. So like to me, the far right, I see kind of like the Berdine's Smokers Pack, you know, with the black and the Vegas with the red under, and then the middle one I see a little bit like Hat Club with like the rust, the rust pack with like the rust with the two-tone. So it's like a lot of like different colorways. You can see where he kind of gets them from, and then from there he expands it in the actual logos. That he just goes crazy and picks a lot of colors that you don't normally see. So like in the Thankful version, I think he used like corn silk. He mentioned in the comments, and like non-metallic threads where, you know, normally like the boring way to do it would he could just go, oh, metallic gold, metallic copper, and you know, maybe some teal. So instead he dug a little bit deeper and found different threads that made it look different. So, you know, shout out to him. He's a good talent, and he's like, you know, worked really hard to get where he's at. So I picked up these two in the pack. So the Thankful.
Nice.
Oh, that looks better than that looks better than picture.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I would say this one is killer with the mint under. And then
wow, that looks nice.
I really considered that. Like this one right here, I did say like this isn't so, but that's like childhood, right?
Yeah. How bad those.
So I'm a little luckier. Like, you know, I got to choose from a list, but for me, like the reason I went with these two is they were the two logos I didn't have. The other four, I have some version of them. So I'm like, okay, do I really want another same hat, different colorway, or do I get the logos I don't have? And I'm very thankful I picked these.
They're great. They really do look. It just shows you, like, sometimes, like, if we see the photos that we get from Clink, and while they're shot high res, there's something about seeing them in person. Like, even on a video cam, like, it's so different now. It's ridiculous.
Especially metallic. I think you need a video to really see them, and that's why everyone in the hat world takes like those super metallic videos.
Yeah, the blurry,
in the dark and stuff, and whatever. But
before you showed that, I was going to say Thankful looks a little muddy. Not muddy at all.
No, I know. I'm really, it's like a big difference.
Yeah,
he killed it. But all right, cool. Moving forward, these next 6 designs, we're going to cover. Their last call is right now, so you have until midnight tonight to get your pre-order in at the reduced rate. first off, we got Panda Path, Springtime, and Florida represent. What are your first thoughts on these three? We'll start with you, Donovan.
I've said this many times, but I don't like anthropomorphic animals. As somebody who draws a lot of animals in like human situations, so that sort of bothers me a little bit. But the pose it's got good motion, no matter what you want to say. Like it's coming at you. As a Floridian, I am drawn to the Florida represent. With the mockingbird, but I don't think anybody knows what a mockingbird looks like, so you'd have to explain that. But I really do like the orange rays in the state and the idea of the state outline. Springtime is pretty, but it's just not for me.
I'm going to bounce different than him because I actually created a board game with anthropomorphic animals, so I actually really like the Wind Studio Panda Path. When we first saw it, I was like, it's nice. I like the colorway on it. I like the play off the red and the gray. That's a great color combo usually. So I actually really like that. And we go through Wind stuff, and that's one of the highlights for me from his stuff recent, which is great. Florida stuff, I'm not from Florida, and it's too humid for me, but I do like orange, so I'll give it that. And Raphael, the colors are really a nice mix. They're very poppy. I can see anybody rocking this on the street. It's just a beautiful hat. It's just a beautiful hat. It gives you the sense of calm that he's trying to get from it. So I can't wait to kind of see it in hand.
Yeah, I think I side a little bit on Donnie with the anthropomorphic part. I mean, for me, like if this was a dude wearing like even like a panda skin, right?
Sure.
It'd be kind of cool. But for me, like I don't understand why he's this, and then he's not like he's super skinny too. Pandas. I mean, Kung Fu Pandas like just mastered like the kind of like moving around pandas. So it's like I'm used to seeing like a tubbier panda.
Yeah.
Like part of me is just like, why does this hat exist? But like I can see the appeal. It's kind of cool. It's a character, whatever. So
it's all about approach, and I think Win and I particularly have totally different approaches. Like if I was going to approach a ninja panda, I would almost do it humorously rather than fierce, like a fat panda with ill-fitting armor, like chewing on his sword. But I think this is probably more for the general public. They don't want some goof, you know what I mean? So
yeah. And these two other hats, it's kind of funny that they're paired together. I almost wish that the colorways were flipped. So like to me, the middle one, the Raphael Springtime, reminds me of LeBron's Miami, I think LeBron 9, Miami, whatever, Miami Nights shoe. So like that makes me evoke like the Florida, the Miami, whatever. And I feel like that colorway doesn't really match the butterfly stuff.
Yeah.
Either way, the state flower too, the state flower bird kind of combo is interesting because I think that one just passed through. So maybe Casey's been kind of assigning these things to clinkers because we saw another one. I think Seamus had one.
Well, my understanding was that it was sort of a concept Jake pitched to Casey to do like a bunch of them, and he paired them with Raphael for at least a few of them.
Okay, interesting, cool. All right, so maybe it was maybe like a theme week that got broken up because we've been kind of seeing them trickle through.
Wow.
All right, cool. Moving forward, 404 data not found. Dia de las Mascotas and Elusive. Let's get your thought on these.
I don't know. I like the 404 not found. I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to come out. Being in IT would make sense. I would like 404 not found. Right. I think the colors are really, really cool. I feel like this is really going to pop well. And it's, Dia, I like Day of the Dead stuff. I do think it's really, really cute. So I will give a shout out to Heather, and the mess though. I don't know. I like the little tongue sticking out the side. I like to see purple on hats. It doesn't really always do the greatest in Clink Room, but I do like purple. At least that kind of purple. And point actual. I would say that I would, without looking at the bottom, I would have thought it was Raphael design. Which, hey, Raphael does great work. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really looking for actually the 404 or something I have on here. So end of the day, maybe I'll get that for Chica, my girlfriend, because she loves Day of the Dead stuff. So before it goes, grab one.
Mm-hmm. What were you, Donnie? Any thoughts?
404 is probably the most tempting colorway. First of all, it's very different for a Clink 2, which is also tempting. It has like a different feel, and it reminds me of Bender. So that's like three things that draw me to it, because it's not Bender, but it reminds me of them. Dia de los Mascotas, I'm weirdo. I'm a weirdo, and I secretly root for Ernesto, so I'm like, good for him. I know almost nobody else does for probably good reason. That would be one for that segment that you mentioned where you compare the submission to the changes, right? Because the subtle changes there really help that one. Elusive, yeah, I mean, it's nice, and I see why people voted favorably, because who doesn't like a tiger? That said, it doesn't make total sense to me. Like, I don't associate tigers with swimming, and swimming doesn't seem particularly elusive or an elusive act for a cat to do.
Right.
And also, like, I'm just personally salty because it beat out my lemur. So I'm like, all right. But I mean, congratulations to them. Like, I'd never root against anybody, no matter how much I critique.
Right. Right. For me, the De los Moscatas, whatever, Ernesto's, all right. Yeah. For me, it suffers personally because I was hoping for the head only version.
Me too.
But now that I know the head only one exists, I can't look at this one and be like, yeah, right on. This one is not bad. I just wish I never saw the head only one, because totally. I wish they picked the head only one. But that being said, it's cool. It's gonna have glow in dark features. I'm with you guys. It's funny with the tongue, and the colorway's cool. It reminds me of the Grape 5s, the Jordan Grape 5s a little bit. It's got funky colors. 404 is real cool too. And yeah, now that you've said Bender, I cannot unsee it.
Yeah.
And I think I learned this week too that or a couple weeks ago that the Obi one, I think he's located in Poland. I want to say.
Oh wow.
Really?
I think so. Yeah. Huh. I'm working on getting a Good Idea Ryan and the Obi one on a show. But they want
that'd be cool.
But Good Idea Ryan wants to do it with the Obi one. If I remember correctly. So synchronizing Poland time and our time is going to be a little hard. I mean, but it's not like we haven't done it before. We've had Milos on the show, so yeah. And then I'm with you too, Donnie. Like with the tiger, who doesn't like a badass tiger hat? But I mean, if you're going to go water, for me, I would have rather you just go crazy underwater tiger as opposed to
totally.
Like wet hair, he's chasing you, tiger. I do like the colorway. Black olive works well. The blue is a good pop color. We have orange in there. Orange looks good off of like the olives and all that stuff. It is a cool thing. I just, part of me is just like, why? Like, I wish would have took it another way. Because there's these like, I don't know who took the photos, but there's like these famous kind of photos of like a tiger underwater. And it looks crazy. Yeah. So like just do a riff off that, swipe or whatever. Just even snarling would have been really cool.
Yeah, like roaring with bubbles coming out. Yeah. That would look really cool. And I think you just touched on something in it, and maybe it's a soft spot for me as someone who collaborates. That's the only way I can ever get one. But if you're going to collaborate and pitch an idea, I'm very critical, and for me, I'm struggling to see the real like idea here.
Yeah. Yeah. That being said, watch it finish top, and what do we know?
Yeah.
This is just us talking from far. Like, that should not dissuade anyone from pre-ordering it. But
and you could have a great story to someone else. Like,
exactly. All right, moving forward. There was a shock drop, so these are becoming a little bit more rare, but good to see them bring it back. So Shadow Socks. It's got the Clink Classics patch, and from crowd favorite, 40 Swords. What is your initial thoughts on this, Eric?
I was just saying how I don't like red, but this is one of those exceptions because it's 40 Swords. Yeah. So and I've been thinning out the herd because just have so many hats and like I want to just get newer ones. He's one of the artists that I can't ever bear to push that onto the secondary market.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just his art style. It's cool. I have this in the other colorways as well, but it'd be nice to like complete the selection. So, yeah, beautiful. I actually like the side patch. I'm not a side patch person, but this one I like it works with the color of the red, and I like the way the pencil slipped down on it. So it because it looks like it has like angle, and because there's angle in the drawing itself, it kind of all works together. So it's a nice addition for sure. I'm sure collectors will love it.
Yeah. What about you, Donnie?
Our artwork wise, great pose, great character work. 40 is not gonna miss. But when I saw the pictures of this originally, the thing that stuck out to me was how fantastic the smoke is.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely fantastic. And I've tried to do a few designs with the Japanese style smoke, and it just looks so nice here. It gives me some ideas. So, and yeah, I agree. Like, I think black and grays play the best off of red.
Yeah.
So it's a nice one. I didn't end up picking it up, but if I had extra money, I probably would have.
Yeah. This one's smooth. First couple things that kind of, kind of stick up to me is that, and probably this has no intention, because he probably submitted this months ago, but the White Sox in baseball actually introduced their City Connect jerseys, and they're black and red. So like when I saw Shadow Sox, it was like, oh, cool. It's kind of like playing on the White Sox, bringing out the black and red. Probably totally unintentional. And if it is intentional, shout out to Taylor for doing that. Super smooth. And when you like really recolor something and bring it back, there's two things or three things that I think you got to consider. Number one are the people who didn't get it the first time gonna want this? Is it different enough for the people who got it the first time to also want this? And does this make the hat look different enough? And I think that those three things kind of check the boxes. So if you missed on the initial, I think it was like either like a black or a navy.
Yes, it was.
If you have that hat, would you want this? I would say probably yes. And if you missed on that one, is this one cool enough that you would still want this one too? I think that's yes. And the third thing is the color makes it look so completely different. He took it from like the blacks and the blues and whatever, the purples, I think it was. Yeah. And now it's like shining red too. It's got a side. Like, I think it's different enough that all three factors should be true. And I'm not sure. I haven't checked one. I could check right now, but like, how did the sales do on it? But
he's usually pretty popular. It's hard to say like any Clink creators have a fan base, but he'd be one that you could make an argument for. Would be
sure.
Yeah. So the first one was a black one. The second one was a black and purple, and then this one's actually the third one, which is pretty cool. So I think he did a good enough job that it looks completely different.
Yeah. It does, and there's been some in the past, like the Poison Dart Frog you did stands out. That looks completely different. And some from other people, but Steven's pack, and I think he made a point to do that. Like, you can see, and I'm horrible at picking colors, but the colors make a big difference in the design. Sure. They can change them. Yeah.
For sure. All right. Moving forward. So the next 20 designs we're going to cover are going to go up for Monday Morning Critz tomorrow. So make sure you get your votes in. Make sure you get your votes in early for the ones that you want to see hit production. Starting with number 1, Dragonscape. Heather teamed up with Mystic. What are your thoughts there?
We both called it. I love it. I love the clouds. It really breaks it up into the two different parts that it needs to be. I like the extension on the outer design with the little trees on the left. When we saw this the other day, we were discussing, this is going right in. Like, it's not going right. It's definitely going to Critz. There are a couple other that are like this that she did that I'm sure we'll probably see another one with it when we talk today, at least. But this is my fave of that pack. I love it. It's great. I really do. I give her props. Really clever.
I could almost say I would virtually guarantee it goes through. Now that said, you want to get critical. It's not a Japanese dragon.
Yeah, the head is.
Yeah, but like it's a European dragon body.
Yeah.
But and like I said earlier, the sort of like outline with the figure. This isn't exactly that, but it's a new way to do the landscape within a figure using the tones of the. I think other than it being a European, feeling like a European dragon, the head definitely helps, and nobody's going to be that critical. I think this one's probably going to cruise through.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. I think it's like a cool effect that she made it. It's almost like those pictures that are made of like almost paper cutouts.
Shadow boxes.
Yeah, like a shadow box thing. So
and then they have the layers.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. The cloud breaks that difference up. That's really if the clouds weren't that light behind it, I don't think it would have the same effect. She did great choice in the color depth of it, and it really pulled it where it needs to be.
Yeah. But I'm with you too, Donnie. Like that's the first thing I thought. I was like, oh, this is like more of like a medieval body of a dragon. The head is more like kind of Asian, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I think it'll vote well. I think most people won't notice. I think she nailed it too with like that kind of monochromatic look. These are all different tones of green too. Her last name's green, so I mean, money green, not this one. Works well. Dragonscape. All right.
Good
Number 2, Sherdog by Hakobo. What are your thoughts on this?
Hakobo is a legend, so I don't want anything being misconstrued. But this, people are always like, "Oh, we'd like to see some of the older, style logos, like what used to." And this harkens back to that. And I think this, for me, if I was going to predict, is kind of the opposite of the last one, where it's not pushing many boundaries, and I'm not sure how well it's going to do, even though it does have that like beginning of Clink 2.0 logo feel, and it's a legend doing it. For me, it's like I want to see his ear, and I don't like the tonal under. Like, I like the pipe. I like a lot about it, but things have gotten more detailed, more dynamic, and this is sort of maybe a little bit too beginning of Clink.
Yeah. I everything, because we talked about this a little bit too. Yeah, the ear missing. I do love the question mark and the smoke. That's cool. Those are like the little ones.
I didn't even notice. That's great.
Those are like the little plus ones that I think, even though the newer designs that come out are very like elaborate, I think those are the little ones, the plus ones that they're missing. Those little Easter eggs. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool. I don't know if I understand the color of the dog, but I don't know. I don't know if I just don't like that mixed with that. But still, it's Jacobo. It still looks great. I hope it does well because I like to see it, but I wonder if it's just more niched to the older Clink heads than the new people who are coming in,
And what's cool too about it is, to me, this thing kind of speaks to his evolution as an artist. Like he's been working on the grandiose side too, working with like, minor league things, like minor league teams, and rebranding them and doing theme nights and stuff like that. So like I feel like the art is on the level of like something I would see a minor league team use.
Yeah.
Like it's very polished. Fortunately, it is missing an ear, and that kind of sticks out. To me, the colorway too hurts this thing. So all that being said, you just slap this on a black hat, or even like a dark brown, and you're good. You're good to go. He's got the plus one with the smoke. I think he's almost like a -2 with the hat and the ear area. So he needs something to make it.
You're still -1.
Yeah, you kind of bring up a point, which is that he's so familiar with how it's going to embroider and how it's going to turn out and but at some point, does that become a disadvantage? Like we've seen that with some of these guys who really know what they're doing here, and it's like the audience is like, no, that's too simple,
Yeah, is this one of those ones where it comes out and you're like, crap, I can't believe I missed on that?
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just with
Just
like the
'cause you don't-
ridges and the musculatures and
Yeah.
kind of how it embroiders. But yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely needs something to push, like to get people to push the button. Yes, I want this. I mean the art is great, but it's just missing some dynamic thing. And for me, I'm a huge MMA fan, so the name Sherdog is hilarious to me because like that is
Oh, that is funny. Yeah.
yeah, it's the Sherdog Radio Network.
Mhm.
So that's hilarious, but that might go over a lot of people's heads, and they might not even care about the name. So
Yeah.
Sherdog Bakobo. One thing is I think that we all can agree on is like good to see him back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we said that. So I was like, oh, just the name's back. I'm
Yeah.
gonna hopefully see more.
All right, number 3, 5370 Napa Street green with the Everest green. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
Not
Yeah.
not even a little bit. It reminds me. I grew up in Key West, and we had a bunch of tourist T-shirt shops, and it reminds me of like the Duval Street gear that they saw. Like it's just so. I don't know. And are they going to be able to get the little details of that crest in there? And also, like, I don't even know if the casual fan knows that this is their brick and mortar location. I get why they put it up, but I really do not like it.
Yeah, I'll just be creative and say there are a lot. I'll be nice and say there are a lot more creative ways to probably celebrate the store's address.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think the bare bones is there, but you
Sure.
need to add like Clink's flavoring. So, like, if you were to take this sign, maybe weather it, maybe got like a hand, like the gorilla hand, like marks, maybe some work, and then you add some graffiti, the Clink Room, or Clink Now Here, or some type of signature, the Clink Room in a script scribbled on top with like a fat marker, stuff like that. Make it weathered, like it's been beat up a little bit, scratched, whatever. Like this is just a little bit too clean, unfortunately. This could work as like a pin, I don't know if it's gonna work well as a hat. Getting the straight edges is like super hard, man. I could just foresee people like, like and they, rightfully so. They'll be like, "Yo, is my shit crooked?" What happened? So.
I mean, I could see that if anybody bought it, but I don't even know if it'd be minimums. That's probably the meanest thing ever said on your show, by the way. My bad.
No, you're good. You're good.
But I'm good friends with Heather, so
yeah. But yeah, I think the base is right there. I think she just needs to take it up one more notch. That's all.
No.
Clinkify it a little bit. But all right.
Yeah.
Number 4, the buns we trust. Win Studio. All right. Number 1, just ketchup on your hot dog. I don't trust you. Number 1. Like if you just one condiment, you just gotta go mustard. Just mustard.
Yeah, agreed.
That being said, what are your thoughts on this? I guess we'll start with Eric.
I don't think the choice of putting a string of ketchup on a hot dog that's already red like that was probably a good design choice. Let's put mustard on them. Like, let's like there has to kind of be some lineage to what you have laying on top of it. I'm assuming that's got to be a string of ketchup, right? I'm not crazy. So bad design choice. But hey, look, 4th of July, congratulations, America. I think it's funny. I think I don't know. I don't think it's as polished as his regular stuff is. Even like, it seems to me like it's a little slapped together. And the ice cream, at least try to make those ice cream dips more circular. Yeah. That's it. I don't really, I don't have a lot to great say about it. I do like the colorway, but change that, make it yellow, and hot dogs don't do well either. I don't think in the Clink.
It's almost like a Philly colorway, right? That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Which makes sense for like Independence Day. And you're right, the ketchup needs some contrast. Honestly, like a mustard tie would be pretty cool.
There you go. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I think he has the color allocation. I didn't count, but it reminds me of like his impression of J-Mats, which is a compliment. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to It's got that feel to it. It's not really my subject matter, and I don't get is ice cream. I guess it's summer, so ice cream makes sense. Okay, yeah.
I just think it suffers from just trying to be a little bit too much, like too many things all at once. Like it's kind of like suggesting that it's like a lunch or in the morning, but then so why is there fireworks? You'll never see fireworks in like the daytime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like his feet are kind of shifted a little bit too much. Like the right foot is in like more of like the middle-ish area to the wiener. Or the hot dog, I guess. I don't want to break down.
No, that's hysterical. It's kind of like off to the wiener.
It's a little tall too, right? It's tall and narrow. It's very vertical.
Yeah. So the hat is a little awkward. And like definitely mustard only on the thing. But he's trying. Credit. America. I'm Canadian, so
yeah.
Like, are people like?
Owl. It's not an owl, and it's not a
I
don't know, skull or something. So I like that a lot. It's fun, but
yeah. All right, moving forward. Number 5, Travel Ball, Sierra. I saw you guys break down this on your show this week.
Yeah,
Monday. So for those who didn't see that, like what are your thoughts on this?
Go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, it's I love Sierra. It looks great. I do like that he did. I love that he did I think he had other colors too. We both agreed that I think the pinstripe was the way to go with this. I like to see that the pinstriping is actually spaced properly too. That's a plus for when you have designs. I mean, we always talk about his brow. It's always going to be done well. I know it's going to come out great. I like the way the strings pull off of it, but it's a Sierra product. It's exactly like Sierra's designs, and he does a great job. They're going to look solid. Aren't you rocking one today?
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, proof's in the pudding.
Yeah.
It's going to look good. So if you like the subject matter, hit that vote.
Yeah.
If the hat is pinstripe, does it mean you don't have to follow the character's hat matching the hat rule? Like, is it just too much to do pinstripes on the character's hat to match the hat?
Well, that's what I was thinking too. Like, the hat is totally different than the hat he's wearing.
Yeah.
As a rule, you sometimes should have the character wear the same hat that is portraying, but then it becomes like an infinity loop of hats.
Yeah.
But also like the pinstripes, this is not like I this could be part of like that kind of alternate like fabric thing that Green suggested people do, but like this isn't a fabric that's offered. That's the problem too.
No.
Red pinstripe, I don't believe it's offered. I mean, I could be wrong, but this reminds me a lot of those Big League Chew kind of collabs.
Sort of.
The super bright watermelon colorways, and maybe that's what he was going for, like that kind of like a Big League Chew colorway. It's a cool piece. Travel Ball, really expensive too nowadays. I feel like in terms of like the baseball, like the new Travel Ball kids, it'd be cool to see like an old school version and then like a new school version. So like the kid has like all the stuff, like the Pit Vipers, the eye black, the sliding mitt, the like just all the extra accessories like that these like new swagged out kids play with. I think that would be like a cool kind of thing.
This gives me the feel though that it's not the player, it's the player's parent who
has
like
to
follow them, and they're beat down about it, and that with the and for that reason I think it's going to hit some people really hard. They're going to really love it because they identify with it, but some people are not going to understand that.
Yeah but it's a cool piece. The art, I can't.
He crushes ball characters. He just crushes them.
Yeah. But all right, cool, good job, Sierra. All right, moving forward, we got Beach Days, Heinz, and Soundwave teamed up for this one.
I always wanted to see this get a chance. This is the second time they submitted. It's a very beachy colorway, by the way. I didn't realize they changed the colorway.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be curious to see how it does. It looks just like a beach. I mean, you could do a more traditional castle, maybe, but that would be the only thing.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a fence. I like the fence. I kind of wish. I don't know. The only thing I would say is like I don't know. At first, when I first saw it, besides thinking on fence, I thought of like surfboards, like so like
in the sand or
in
something.
the sand, yeah. Because like at first glance, I just looked up and I was like, oh, okay. So they put surfboards there, and I forgot that because I remember the original. The original had the castle, but what was missing? There was something else missing. It was more footsteps, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, like I remember that being
a
like,
long time.
yeah. So I mean, I do like the breaking of. I always like the breaking of the circle. I always like the breaking of the circle. So it's done nice here as well. I also do like how the sky carries around in the outline. I think that's cool. I do think that maybe that should have carried around at the bottom of the beach bucket, just because it would delineate the dark blue. But in general, it gives exactly the feel you want for like a beach day, right? So
either carry around it or like leave out also some of the sand, like the sand is pouring out almost, and just continue the circle normally. But yeah, that's real nitpick. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it really does it, right? It does exactly what it says it's going to do.
Yeah,
exactly what it needs to do. Melody.
This is me next weekend with my kids. And
yeah,
the colorway is real rad. I almost wish he would take it, or they would take it into two separate ideas. I wish there was one where it was like a tan color hat. Just give me the super detailed, super up close version of the sandcastle. Like
that'd be sick.
I want to see it like up close, textures,
that'd be so sick.
layers, all that stuff. Maybe even include the bucket with the shovel. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
And then another version where just get rid of the sandcastle and then make like the bucket and the shovel like the main piece, where it's like living on like that, kind of like that Flanagan thing where he's like main character and then a little bit of the landscape, but you get the main character first, break the circle, have the elements. I almost wish they would just take this idea and break it into two and see where it goes. But we'll see. I mean, this might vote real well. I think you're just not doing yourself a good service shrinking the sandcastle and not having like a lot of the details and just not letting it be the star of the show. So
just one suggestion: if this windup does going through Soundwaves and Super Hard, it's like, you know what, do a fall version of this where the sandcastle is like knocked down and then like maybe like some like dirt on the beach
or something.
Yeah, and then make it like fall. I think that would be such a great continuation of a same scene as it goes through the different variants of the 4 seasons. That would be super cool.
And I think you should at least try what Leon said and do just a sandcastle. That'd be kind of cool. And if you guys both just made me think, and sort of my feeling about this castle in general, it could just be a simple castle. And my kids build terrible castles. They're just buckets, like you could almost do that if you want to simplify.
Exactly. But then really flex your artistic skill, the textures and the layers. I think you could really add some cool stuff. Even like layering the dots and of the sand too. But cool.
Super cool. It has the right feel. It's exactly what
Yeah, and the colorway is awesome too. They picked this perfect. All right, moving forward, the Terrornado, Levi and the Junker got together.
I'm gonna just jump on really quickly. The bolt's gone.
Yeah.
The bolt, and I said this on the show. Bolt's gone. Tornadoes are hard. Tornadoes are hard.
Yeah.
But I think with that, I like the cloud work on it. I really like the cloud work on it. And if you take those bolts away, it will look like it's moving towards you and not locked into a frame. And if you had to keep the bolts, maybe make the bolts dark, like dark gray, or like make it reverse, maybe make it lighter so it inverses out from the clouds. So like you can make a little bit more depth. The face is, decent, but that top part, I don't know. I'm a little picky when it comes to, I think like the top of the cone should be a little bit more flatter. So like it gives it more of a plate top instead of a wide opening where you can look down into the cone. So I think that throws it a little bit off. But I do think the concept's cool. But yeah, the main thing, bolts.
Yeah.
What about you, Doug?
Yeah, I mean, I agree about the clouds. Clouds are sort of tough. These remind me of the ones on Day Drinkers, which I was very happy with. So I think it looks really nice here. I also agree with the bolts, although like looking at it here, like maybe they're supposed to be his arms or something, which is kind of cool. And yeah, I mean, I like wild, crazy eyes. You don't have to do that. I probably wouldn't put a nose, but I think the nose is fine. Like, this is cool. I think it's cool. They're from Nebraska. They know all about tornadoes.
Yeah, they do.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it's pretty cool. You know, it doesn't. I wouldn't immediately say, "Oh yeah, Tornado." Like if somebody was wearing it and I didn't know, but so you could go further in that direction. But that's about it.
Yeah, I think I'm with you, E, with the Thunderbolts. I don't know if we necessarily need them, but maybe that's what makes a Tornado for us tornado people. Maybe that's one where it's like dark and in a thunderstorm. I don't know, but a couple things for me, like just small aesthetic stuff, like at the top, those like kind of ridges almost makes it look like birds. I would just kind of change that tiny bit. And then for the clouds, I just would want some of it to flow in front and some of it to flow behind. Like just kind of how it, instead of it just being like, all right, here's my layered my clouds, layered my thunderbolt, and then this is on top. Just have it kind of interact with each other. Maybe just like a small portion, maybe goes over the bottom, and then you can hide like little Easter eggs within like the clouds. Maybe like a silhouette of a house flying, or maybe a silhouette of a cow, like whatever.
Yeah.
Like or a car or whatever. Just like you can add like little Easter eggs within the clouds, so you're not just kind of wasting them. So like at first I thought, oh, those are birds, but I was like, that doesn't make sense. There's no birds flying.
It does kind of look like it.
Yeah. So then you can just use that that piece. I'm just a little confused. Like, why is he black and red? But I don't know nothing about a Tornado, so maybe that was just like a bad name or a name that went over my head. But either way,
it's probably more like, oh, we want to do a scary tornado. We can't just call it tornado.
Like a punny thing.
Yeah.
But all right, cool. I like their work. I don't know how often they get through, so it's like we want to see them be pushed, and it's a good pair. It's a good pair. They come out with cool stuff. So
yeah, I think they're doing pretty well, but that's almost everybody compared to me lately.
But number 8, Tropical Punch. Sheamus teamed up with Not So Original Handle.
How many times have they? I mean, I like that when it's hard to do. It's hard to bring yourself to do it, but I like when somebody will keep trying one, and especially like this one. It feels like Mike is trying for this other guy. You know what I mean? Like, so I like that on a personal level. The colors are nice. For me, it's like just stylistically, I prefer illustrative to realistic. So that's almost where I'd lean, but it looks exactly how it's supposed to.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, he has a really good way of not using outlines and doing proper items the way they're supposed to look and like adding to them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that it's great drawn. I love Sheamus. I'm not close. I like this art, but I feel like it's missing something. It still is missing. So it needs something else with the pineapple. Pineapple looks great. Looks like a pineapple. Gloves look like a glove. The arms are done well. They're sitting right. The pose is right. It needs a +1. That's it.
Yeah.
It needs something else to pop it up a little bit more.
Yeah. I think like if this was like a pineapple contest, he's winning every time.
Yeah.
The problem is like we need to suspend belief, and it's almost too realistic. It hurts it. So I mean, if he added like a cartoony comic pow on the left arm, and then added like a tiki style face on it. I mean, and then just flattened the. Unfortunately, you had to like flatten and kind of simplify the pineapple a little bit. But if it was like that, then it's like, oh, that's fruit punch or tropical punch or whatever.
Yeah.
I think the colors she used are good. I think like you guys said, like the artistic value of it, it's good. It's good. But will it, resonate with people? Are people gonna like say, yeah, I need that? I just think it doesn't connect enough with the audience. But yeah, it's a cool entry. Probably could have been part of the fruit food fight week. Fruit punch. So it's a good one. I'm with you. It's just missing that little extra.
Yeah, just needs that.
It's like it needs a face.
Yeah.
Just do like a tiki style, almost not quite tiki, but like kind of a tiki-ish, like goofy.
Yeah.
Kind of like Santa Cruz-y kind of.
Oh
thing.
yeah. Oh yeah. Give it a little bit of a black eye. Just throw a little bit more of the fight style into it, right? Like with that, a combo. Yeah, just those little things.
Yeah,
little
chewing on a mouth guard or snarl.
Yeah.
Sweat flying off, and I think if you add that pow, it kind of balances it too, right? Just like a cartoon man pow.
That gloves out so far.
Yeah.
No, I agree. It would center it off. It would balance it a lot nicer for sure.
Which, by the way, is so hard to do. Is put something like that so far, like coming at you, and make it look like it's so freaking hard. So
but all right, good job. Number 9. Ooh.
Oh, finally.
He's back. Play Dead.
I'll talk about it. I love this hat.
Yeah, I'm still surprised that this hat never got made, but
and I love it more that looks like a clown show. I know that's I don't take that, please.
No,
in any sort of a bad way. I think it looks so insane that it's a thing that you would wear just because it looks so insane. And you know what? Growing up in the 90s, it reminds me of cross color. I wish I would buy this hat just to match a cross color suit with it. Just because I'm an old school. Yeah, I'm older than most people. Think I am.
They've never done a pinwheel like this either, though.
That would be my worry. Like, I think I really like the character, and I like the colorway too. But I'm like, man, sometimes the colorways slaughter them. So we'll see how people feel about that.
It's done well though. Like Creature, you always have good ideas, and I'm not just jumping on you because you're my anchor on MEC. But I've always said I've loved this design, and really honestly, I think Soundwaves is really underrated for what he's able to pull off with some of the creature ideas he comes up with as presented.
Yeah, I liked him a lot, man. The story too, the Play Dead, the possum, play possum, the puns right there. Looking at it in this colorway, I don't know if I said it before, but I almost feel like his tail's backwards. I almost wish it was flowing the other way, kind of.
Yeah, it's more for the balance.
Yeah, I don't think you need it though, because his hand's already up there.
True.
I would just small note. I would just have his tail go the other way. But other than that, I did like. I don't know. I'm still surprised this hat hasn't been made. I do like the kind of like that Mardi Gras kind of color where you guys did, or like with the green and the purple and the yellow.
Me too. Yeah.
This isn't bad either. I hadn't seen them ever do a pinwheel. I think if they're ripe for it, means it's different enough. Hell, just let it go and see if people really go.
We're about to find out, I guess.
Yeah, we will.
I'm happy, so that's cool. We'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully possums aren't banned, because this is a really good logo to me. I don't know. I think it's really good. Number 10, Spells. Matt Bells and Whistles continuing his kind of like a fantasy series. Looks like we got like a wizard. But what are your thoughts on this?
I like, there's a lot of great light work. I think Matt really kind of excels at light work, right? So that's one of the things that sticks out. The only negative I think that I recall, and I see it now again, is that he kind of feels like a little squat with his arm.
Yeah.
But you know, you can't really see him. You can't tell exactly what angle he's at. You know, so it works either way.
Yeah, I love it. I think, yeah, I love Matt Bell stuff, especially 'cause like you said, the light work is amazing. I do think that on the back end of that arm, because the colors are so similar to the back of the colorway, or at least, you know, in the dark family, it kind of loses the back outline. And I get how that could be cool, but since you have it there and it's not like a fade out, maybe just hitting the little tips of the back of that elbow and the cloak that comes down a little bit, just to define the back of him, and then I would think it would take away that squatty thing that you have the problem with, Rich. I believe I said that on the show too, because it just needs some kind of offshoot of light towards the back. You know?
Yeah. I feel like if he just reversed the design, that way you get the front of the book as opposed to the back of the book. Like we're looking at the back of a book and there's really nothing there. I think if you just reversed it and had the front of the book, I mean, it's a small little change, but I think that would change the design a lot. I don't love that he's just holding like a stick of dynamite, a candle.
Sure.
Wow.
You know, but like, yeah, if you just flip the design, you see that it's the front of the book. You could even add something, you know, spells for dummies or whatever you want to do. You know, like you can add something to that, and then kind of it just like you lose the awkwardness of just him holding like this thing. Maybe he's, you know, hovering the book, or I don't know, doing something, or maybe he's starting the spell on the other hand, like, you know, it's just starting, and then the other part is he's flipping through the book while it's hovering, like, you know, it just makes it a little bit more dynamic. Like it's a cool piece. The art's done real well. The lighting is, you know, done real well, but then I think like certain parts of it, it's like you lose a lot of detail where there should be more. Like around here, like this lighting is not as dynamic as the lighting here. Like just look at all the tricks he did, like the orange just super highlighted, the outline stops and then it gets darker, then the yellow's real bright, but then here it's just kind of simple, and here it's just kind of simple. So
yeah,
you know, if you sort of did kind of if you're going to do what you're saying, you could do this, and I think you could fix the squattiness with this too. The hand holding the wand, presumably holding the book, and keep this hand doing that, but have some motion in the pages, like he's flipping.
Yeah, like it's flipping through it or something.
Light is emanating from the book.
Yeah. Move the light source. Yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah,
but I like it. It's cool.
But yeah, this part of it done beautiful. Like the phase, the light source is so cool. The yellows is just highlight. Like it's real cool. Good job, Matt. Number 11, Bank Robin, version 18.
Finally convinced her to do the one flying out of the vault. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this, E?
I just have I think the only thing I really have the issue with is the outline of the bird on the inside of the vault. I don't understand why that's there. I just think it also makes it difficult for embroidery. Like, why are you adding that there of all places? So I think they would do their changes. I understand it's to distinguish the black mask that he has on. Now that I think about it, from and the outline of the bird, which makes sense. But I don't know. I think it could then change the inside of the vault to not being black. Change it to the gray, like on the back of the door. Like simple choice like that, like is fine. I think it's drawn well. I think I do like that it looks open because it looks like it's a port on the hat and like it's on the hat, like that's a part of the safe. So it gives it like a cool kind of effect. But yeah, I like the colorway too, and I'm a big fan of the money series. So anything that has like a dollar bag or something on it, to me, goes into the money series. Of hats, anything like the money counter or the ones that I think Jacobo was doing all those, right? Yeah. I mean, I just went through a bunch of them. I bought dual of each. So to me, it falls within that line in the color scheme. So I like.
Yeah. What about you, Donnie?
I mean, like there's some changes it's hard because at least me, maybe I'm weird. I always prefer some aspects of the thing I draw. Like I would almost switch the vault door to the other side, move the bird out a little bit more left, And you're right about the outlines, especially because they break where the hole in the vault is. I think that's I mean, I could nitpick, and I do all the time. But I'm glad she tried the flying one. We tried the running one, and I just thought, it's a bird. It should be like flying the coop. He should be flying out of there. So, yeah, I mean, my critique would be like change it more to how I drew it, but I still like it like this.
Yeah. I think 2 kind of design notes for me. If you're gonna go with like him flying out of the vault, I almost wish the hat was gray, so that way it made it look like
yeah, that makes sense.
Out of the wall, or even like a darker black or whatever it is.
Sure.
I did like. So now going back to, we said we didn't like the anthropomorphic, like animals. This one's more of a bird, like more of a literal robin. I almost like the other guy better because you had the part that was a cool part, which was the robin wearing the balaclava. So I feel like we're kind of losing it a little bit here with the bird. And then with the hands, I think it's a little bit awkward. So like if you're to picture like a little robin holding a bag, there's no way they're holding it forward.
Yeah, it's like both hands behind them.
Because like one of it's like a human hand, but the other one's like a talon almost. So you almost would want to see him like kind of struggle to grab maybe some money's flying out or whatever. But
yeah, I wanted that too.
Yeah, so like small little things. I feel like the hole's bigger than the door. So just small stuff. But I don't know. I would almost change him to almost like a. I know it's gonna go away now from going away from the flying part, which you wanted, but I almost wish he was just climbing out of the climbing out of the vault door. Maybe he's he's holding it by his mouth. Maybe
he's Mission Impossibling, and he's like hanging above the floor with his wings. Or what was that? Ocean's 11. I don't remember what it was, but
I think it was Mission Impossible, where he flew down.
Yeah, almost hits the ground.
Yeah, but there's so many ways you can go with this. The bank robbing part. I mean, that is where you're winning. It's the name is it's just how you execute. And for me, it's just it's a cool version. Just small little design stuff here and there. But I think you guys are right there.
Yeah, we'll see.
But all right, number 12, the Moonkeeper. What are your thoughts here?
Enough of astronauts. It should be astronaut. Like, we just don't need any more of them. I look, and Milos is a master of what he does. So
yeah,
the one with the telephone booth, I thought was going to be an utter nightmare, and when I saw it, I was like, damn.
It was a good one.
Wow. Yeah, I was, again, one of those things we talked about earlier. So I'm like, wow, this is never going to be. So, touching on that, if you're leaving within the series, I think it's great. I like the colors. I like the critters on the moon. I like the negative critters on the moon in the lighter purple. I think that's great. Hands are done good. I'm not the biggest fan of the secondary finger that comes down because you see the whip around. I don't think you need that. You could have just cut it off and made it a little bit thicker. And these are being nitpicking. I'm just nitpicking because the design is great. I love the reflection in the mirror of the dome, of the shield, whatever you want to call it. I think that's really, really, really done well. I hope that comes out. But you know what? I've been surprised before. So it's a good subject matter. The colors are done well. He's a great artist. It's probably going to kill. I'm sick of astronauts. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy and I would probably say the same thing about astronauts, and here I draw them all the time, but it's usually animals as astronauts. I like that it feels ominous. Something about it feels ominous. It's almost like the octopus with its tentacles all over the earth type deal. That's what it reminds me of. And it's super clean. I love the reflection. Is this the colorway that most of the astronaut hats are? It just feels like that.
I want to say so. A lot of the astronaut hats I feel like are either like a navy orange
Okay.
or like a
Yeah.
blue with reddish. This is kind of like a mix of all of them.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. I get what you're saying about the astronauts. Like, would like to have a little bit of a +1 or a little bit more of a story, but man, you cannot. That's the thing is, no matter what, his art defeats that because it's so polished and dynamic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what this one kind of suffers from. It's almost too polished. Almost looks like an e-gaming logo. Almost.
Yeah.
I almost wish that like instead of like a moon, maybe he's just like looking at like a rock or like a crater, or meteor or something. You know, like some type of, just add a little bit of a story. But yeah, I just think it kind of suffers from being too like perfect almost, and like you just want it to be like almost grittier, almost like dirtier, almost. Like it's too clean almost. But I can't complain. It's drawn nice. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with it. I don't know if the orange really works well with the purple and black, but I don't know what I would do differently.
Yeah, it could almost be something darker. I just don't know what.
Yeah. But, all right. Good stuff, Milos. Number 13, Duckbills. Funky Turtles back.
This is probably my favorite one from him so far. Like you get what it is from the image, and that's nice. I would lean into the bills looking a little bit more like a bill, but I don't know if you need the money sign eyes, but I think it's a step forward for Funky Turtle for sure.
Yeah.
I think you can. I agree. You can tell what it is, but I do think it's very. I don't know. It looks it's not bad. It's. I'm not trying to say this about. It's very overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just very right in your face. Like I don't think though, if you didn't have the name Duckbills, I don't know if I would necessarily think it was a duck. Again, maybe I'm just not. My eyes sometimes are off, but I just that's me. I don't see the duck unless I knew it was Duckbills. You know, I see like what he's trying to go for. I'm not hating on it, and again, it might just be I might catch it later down the road. It is the best thing they've ever done so far. It's the most clean and concise, and it's a cool idea. But the colorway it's very monochrome, which in this case I think works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like it?
Colors at least. My problem with this thing is that it's like a weird perspective. Like I can't tell what it is.
Well, that's what I was saying.
That's the thing. So to me, it's not obvious that it's a duck.
The name helps me, I guess. The name helped me, I guess.
Yeah. So if you were to cover up the name, you wouldn't know.
Yeah. Be harder.
It's tough, right? So, I mean, and then it also gets hard too because, like, if he were to really kind of like try to tie in that kind of like Scrooge McDuck look, you're almost infringing on an IP, and that would almost hurt you for getting it approved. But I almost wish, like if you're gonna go duck bills, you have the bills. I almost wish it was like a wad of cash, kind of more closed, but then maybe you can use like a band on it that's orange to kind of like make you visually see that it's like a bill of a duck or something like that. But credit to him, he's sticking to his style. He's still submitting. It's just you need that punch. Like you need to if you're gonna get the votes, just know you're going against like savages. Like you have to stand out and you have to be solid. And he's getting better and he's making stuff that would look. This would embroider better than anything that I've seen him submit. But it's just missing that kind of connection and that kind of. I'm just picturing someone saying I really need this. Like, do I see people being like, yeah, I need that hat? And the problem too is like when you get too wrapped up in your style, it's not. It might not get the votes. So you almost got to have that mass appeal.
Totally.
So that's all. That's all. And I want to see him keep going. So,
Yeah.
when he does finally break through, I think it'll help. But it's just from far. If you're not familiar with his work and you're not familiar with who he is, like this, it doesn't look like anything.
Honestly, you could take out the arms and immediately it becomes more duck because you have the shape of the head with the bills coming out of it. And then just imagine the bills, like turn it a little bit more to the direction it's facing. And imagine the bills like people used to do Pringles.
Yeah.
You know, kind of have them coming out exaggerated, like, you know, lean into the appeal versus the real.
Yeah, exactly. But all right, moving forward. Number 14, Flanagan with the service. What are your thoughts here?
So many stars.
A lot of stars.
Yeah, I said that too the other day.
That
I
dog
think
is
it's.
really
I'll say
thin,
this.
too.
Let me bounce really quickly. I think it's strong looking. The arm over the flagpole, not the fan. Because the gray is running over it, so it actually doesn't look like it's around it. It looks like I don't know what it's doing. Like it doesn't make sense to me, right? I mean, I'm not the only one probably seeing that. It's very simple. The face, at least, is he's going for like I'm going to try to add the dark shadow of half my character. I don't think it's as refined as other people have done it. Like the green has a good job. She does a good job at that now. That's one of her like strong suits for sure. Other than that, yeah, and the A Million Stars. I think for somebody who loves America and likes dogs, I think this is something that people will buy. Just knock down the stars and fix that arm mainly for me.
The colors are super cohesive, and like Ryan on your show talked about silhouettes. It's a strong silhouette, even despite the what you could tweak on the front arm. I would just say, like, yeah, I know it's real versus appeal, but the waist is a bit skinny for how fat the chest is, or muscular the chest is. And I don't know if it's just because it's so contrary to what his stuff is normally like ultra detailed, and this is sort of minimalist other than the stars. So it feels like maybe there could have been. I think it'll probably do well though. If I had to bet, I would say, yeah, I think, just the colors match it so well. People love dogs. It's a fierce looking dog, Yeah, it's a good silhouette.
Yeah. It's tough too, right? Because like you sacrifice so much of the head size by including so much of the flag and including the full body. I don't know if changing it to a 3/4, you still capture like that kind of like the aura of the dog. So I'm not sure if like suggesting that would actually help, but yeah, I'm with you too, Donnie. Like you lose a lot of the detail. There's almost no detail in the dog. You totally lose it in the face. I don't know what I'll do to fix it though. And I don't know if it's tough, right? Like, is this something that the people want? Flag bearing dog. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I would have never guessed in the past that people would be all about the very patriotic ones. It seems like, but they seem to be. And, I mean, like I said, I think the colors go really well, and people that are all about colors will probably be like, yeah, that's smooth. But I think honestly, if it didn't go through and you reworked it might benefit just from that extra time into it. It'd be all that much more dynamic, but I could see it doing well.
Wasn't there one where it was kind of like this, but it was like the saluting bald eagle?
Well, Wynn and Brad Race and both have had like patriotic eagles.
Yeah. So there's like the Brad Racing where it's the eagle where it's spread and he's kind of breaking the bat. But wasn't there one that was kind of like maybe that was a Hat Club one then. Maybe I'm misremembering.
Maybe Wynn's was like from the side and the wing was like going forward.
I remember that one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
No.
I almost swear there was like a bald eagle who was kind of like this and saluting, and he almost looked like a whatever. But either way,
maybe that's that video people made of a bald eagle with like real arms where he's like walking around.
Oh, that I remember that. That's hilarious. Yeah, he would salute people and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but All right, cool. Number 15, Atlantis.
Oh, I'm having a good week, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
really are. I'll just not. I mean, I said this the other night too. I like everything. I think that the rays could be cut down in the back. The depth is there. I like the seashell outward. Yeah, yeah. That's really all. Maybe I don't necessarily think it needs the shark and the fish in the background to tell you you're in the ocean. There's just more detail that will probably get cut out anyway. I'd actually rather see the rays get wider and more expansive out, and then get rid of those little details in the back. Maybe keep the little water, curlings in the back. That's fine. But other than that, it's really hard to critique anything that Milos does, because he does do it with such proficiency and such he's so, it's a winner.
It's a cool piece too. It's the shape of a clamshell. There's a lot of layers to it. I almost wish that Clink would do more t-shirts and stuff. That this was the t-shirt that you get with the hat, and then the hat just had the lady on it. But it is a nice piece, man. I can't argue with it. I don't love the face. I almost wish if you're just gonna go almost silhouette, you just have maybe just the shape of the face, as opposed to trying to force the detail in there. But yeah, other than that, she's freaking muscular though.
She is. Yeah. She is a muscle mommy. Yeah.
Yeah. She got pectorals, pectoral fins. But yeah, it's a good piece. Yeah, I'm with E. Maybe dial down a couple of the rays of the sunshine there. I almost wish it was zoomed in more. I just almost wish you could just zoom in a little bit and get more detail. But yeah, it's a cool piece. I think it'll vote well. I think that the head a little bit, and maybe just the pecs of her need to be adjusted a little bit.
She might need to be softened up. She's a bit of a warrior right now.
Yeah.
Give her the clamshell bra, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you could do that really easy with the silhouette, right? I mean, that's such an easy fix.
Easy fix. Yeah. But art's cool, concept's cool. I love the colors. Yeah. A lot of people are kind of using this monochromatic kind of palette, which is cool to see. All right, moving forward. Number 16, the Canadian Moose.
We didn't see these colors.
No, we didn't.
No.
The one we saw was Milwaukee Bucks colors almost, and maybe that's why they didn't pick that one because
could be. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this?
Done.
I think I like the other colors better. It's
agreed.
Naturey, and if you're gonna do these colors, I feel like the blue takes away from the Canada of it. But
yeah.
I mean, I like the dragon. I mean, because we saw 5 or 6 that she did. I'm not surprised that this book made it in. I think any Canadian would like it for sure. I don't dislike it. I do agree with the blue. I think you could probably have used just different colors of red to kind of, maybe since you're going with so much red in it. But I do like the breakup. I still like the thought process. I do like the star where the eye is. And I think it will come out clean. So I'm not, I think that's one of those things where you're shocked at looking at something in one way and you see it another. So it just takes a moment for it to settle in, And now that it's settling in, I'm liking it more and more as I'm looking at it. So,
what's the tower?
So that's a CN tower.
Okay, so you recognize that.
Yeah. So as the resident Canadian here, I don't like it in the sense that it's almost too cliche. So number one, the Toronto skyline is super iconic. But the problem is anyone who's not from Toronto in Canada hates Toronto. So we're just cooler than everyone else. So that's the issue is if you know the Toronto skyline, it's so iconic because there's so many buildings. There's also the Sky Dome beside it too. So it's you're losing our tallest tower to these mountains, which the CN Tower is nowhere near any mountains. That's the thing too. So it's it's almost like you're forcing the Canadian in to this bucket of moose. With there's Yeah, the pine trees too, and there's no pine trees near the CN Tower. It's concrete. It's where it's beside where the Blue Jays play baseball, essentially. So you're missing like elements of this. It would be like seeing like if you're from New York, just switch this to a rat silhouette, let's say. Okay, we won't go rat.
That's great. No, I love it. I love them from New York. Yeah, rat.
Yeah, we'll go bodega cat, and then it's like the Empire State Building, but then beside a bunch of like mountains and redwood trees. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, like, it's cool. It's like the art is cool, but just me being a Canadian, I'm looking at this. I'm like, this doesn't speak to all of. Number one, it doesn't speak to all of Canada, because all of Canada doesn't fuck with Toronto. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And then it's like you're messing with the scale. Like, that is like a 600-foot tower, the CN Tower. It's like known, but then you're like losing it with the mountains beside it, because there's nowhere near the mountains, and then you got trees beside it. So it's like, and I don't know how she fixes that. Like, you almost got to do
the tower on. You just say Canadian wilderness, right?
Oh,
like, you just.
I'm gonna be sharp. It doesn't get fixed because AI can't fix itself.
Oh God.
Oh, okay. But all right.
Disavow.
Number 17, Fumes.
Yeah.
It's a recolor without the hand. I saw you guys mention you wanted to see this without the hand. He did it without the hand, so here we go. Number 17.
And then it got to Critz, right? So I mean, I guess we were kind of like on the right page.
Yeah.
I don't know. It reminds me of New York. It's old school New York graffiti style. So I like it. Do I think it's very simple? Yes. Do I think it's Rob Smith's design style? Yes. If you like his style and you like graffiti, I think it's cool. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I almost like want more neon-ish, vibrant colors, but then again, I'm not like a graffiti guy. I don't know if that's wrong. I do prefer these colors, like the blue and the purple, and I definitely prefer it without the hand. I just think it's a way better silhouette.
Way more bounce.
Yeah, and there's good motion to it, and I think Rob is another person who could use a win, and he does a lot of those street art, street style stuff, which Clink may or may not be the place for it. So I'm sure if this struggles, maybe he'll move away from that a little bit. Street stuff. So I'd like to see it do well to encourage him to keep with his style.
Yeah. Just some small stuff. Like, now that we know what the original one was, now that this is like the main star, I almost wish the skull had a little bit more texture to it, a little bit more detail. Like, now that it's zoomed in, like, really flex the stuff. Like, you can have like the cheeks kind of bulgy, you can have like the ridges, and you just show that by just having different colors kind of in there, and kind of give that skull a bit more texture. Like, it'd be cool, like, if you could actually like feel it. And it's like really kind of in there. But yeah, I think it's all good notes. I think it's cool that he, saw that, whether he saw it or not. But like, for me, I saw you guys critique it. I saw him make the changes now, and I like what he did.
Yeah. I hope it votes better than the other ones, just so we don't look foolish.
Yeah. Moving forward, number 18, Quarter Eater, Josh Foles. Another like arcade week. I think it's a resub, right? He did this before.
No, he did another. He did another version that I had reached out to him about grabbing, and that went to. I don't know if Casey decided to take him up on it. I definitely think this is a cooler version of what he did before, for sure. I love the pixel pieces around it. I'm a big arcade head from when I was a kid. I love it. Like, I love it. If it doesn't go through, it'll probably wind up getting made, because I like it. It's just great. It's great. I can't say anything bad about it. I just love it, dudes. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I would just say I want to see the eye more. Like, I know he's like, and I like the Cyclops idea, so I would like to see the eye more. But I mean, I will preface this by saying I love it. I think it's dope. I love the pixelation, like he said, and the things on the screen almost look like the game being played, which is kind of a cool touch. But it's like, are those tentacles or are they roots? Like, is it a plant or not that it changes anything for me? It still looks cool, but maybe I'd like some clarity there.
Yeah, I'm with you too, because we're programmed. I mean, we're all like 70s and 80s kids, so we're all programmed like this is like the aliens almost from The Simpsons. So you almost think that there should be tentacles there. So I kind of wish there was like the suction cups. I'm with you there.
Yeah,
Donnie, like if you were just to add like just the silhouettes of suction cups, I think it, it adds a little bit to it. But I'm with you, E. I love the little touch of the pixels. I think that's so good. And then the with the teeth in here, I don't want to change it too much, but then I'm almost thinking like, should there only be teeth where the scratches are? Because I don't want scratches on each one. So like that, you gotta have to suspend belief a little bit, But yeah, I do like it. Like the neon green. I don't know if the mint. I would want to see this done in like maybe a purple or a red instead of the mint, just to have it like really punch and get that contrast. But art-wise, this is so cool. And yeah, he did have the other one, which was one more token.
Yeah,
I think this one's way better.
I agree. I mean, but besides the plus ones, like just the art, like the way the coin sits in the tentacle or fruit, like that dip on that, that's like, like those. Yeah. It's already a plus one piece, but adding those little things that are just so perfectly designed. I gotta give them props, man, sir.
Yeah. If you made it purple, like you said, it would also purple or red. It totally takes away the confusion of whether it's tentacles or a plant. You know what I mean? So
yeah. It just gives you that pop, because like this green is such a good pop color. When you put it so close to that green, it almost takes away from that pop. So you want like, contrast to the green. That's why. But it's an awesome piece. All right. 19 canned Clink. The Nebraska boys teaming up again. What are your thoughts?
I liked it. I liked it on our show. I think it's got potential for really cool embroidery, but I do not need the Clink word mark. I don't know what else you do.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get why they put it there. It fills the space up nice, but I just feel like I just would want to see it in hand. I feel like it would look really cool.
Missing the key.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah.
Missing the rollout key. The only thing, I think it has such a nostalgic feel. I think like this is like their version of a J Matt's kind of classic art style, done their way, because their style is very different than anything else we've really been seeing when they clink up, right? Like Junker and Levi really are bringing something like different together to the table. But yeah, the key and the remove the clink. And I just think that it evokes a feeling of, especially for, I mean, I'm from the East Coast, right? But like, it gives me a Midwest feeling, like, like it really does. Like that's what you would see on the billboard going down to the tackle shop before you were going out to the lake, right? Like that's what I get from it. So it invokes a feeling and invokes a classic. And I really do like them two together, man.
Yeah. See, for these things, like I almost want to suspend the belief sometimes, but then I think like the practical part of it, like number one, the key's missing. Number two, it's like they designed that part of it knowing that that's the open part, but like the realistic part of my brain wants to shift it and just have, if you want to go Clink, just have CLI. That's it. We put together that Clink is thing, and then just have maybe some of the oils and like the stuff that the sardines is packed and kind of leaking out. I think it creates a little bit more balance too to your design. But yeah, I think it's cool. Other than that, I think
it's different.
Yeah. Kind of got the cause like dead eyes too. I think that's kind of cool.
I like that too. Yeah.
All right. Last but not least, homemade design with Jake. What are your thoughts here?
Do you? What did you say about this? I
know what I said. Right off the bat, it reminded me of Caffeine Power. It reminds me of a cod piece. Because it just has that kind of look. Hands are done great, like you said that day, Creature. I think they did change the ice cream on the cone, though. I don't remember it looking like that. I mean, I could be wrong. It seems like there's something that was added or like, redefined to it to make it look a little bit more shiny. I think it was the ice cream that's coming out of him and the ice cream that's on top of the cone. But I think it actually lends itself more to look like a Caffeine Power or any of that kind of style art, Boba Boy, like those. That's what it reminds me of. And I think I said on the show, but does that do well now with the new Clink people? Like we were having that discussion, right? We want to talk about classic and what things would work in, 2.0 early edition. I mean, that's not so long ago. It's been like a year since COD's been gone, something like that, year and a half. I think it was just before I got divorced. So say a year and a half. Mm-hmm. Will this kind of style still hit? What are your guys' kind of thoughts on that? Like,
it's like got that cute feeling. Yeah, it does have those iconic characters that we've seen that seem to do really well. So you'd think some of those people would be around, but I think drinking beer is probably more relatable and popular than churning your own ice cream. And I just thought of this, and I do still agree with myself that Jake does hands really well, but the character is so like cute and sweet, and they're almost like old gnarled hands, like like maybe fatter, or like I mean, not have as many detail lines, but it's cute.
And I feel like the left hand, the hand that sits on the right, is almost shifted too far down. It's so heavy too, right? The issue, I feel like the overabundance of two-tone hats too really shows in this one. Like, just be brave enough just to put this on a sky blue hat. It doesn't need to be sky blue, brown, and pink. Like, it's just so much color. And like, it's easier too when you're mocking them up. They all look better two-tone. But like, practically though, like, I just feel like Clink is just moved away from just having solid mono hats, and a lot of times just do it. Just I don't know. If that can affect anyone, just come on. Like, don't be afraid to make like a good mono hat.
They're kind of the most wearable hats, they look great. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, the two tones probably vote better because it's more color, it's flashier. You can use more of like the colors within the design to hook it all together, but this is just begging to be a mono hat to me. But yeah, I'm with you guys. Like, the appeal, I don't know if it's hitting. Like, people like ice cream, but like, how many people can relate to like churning their own? Like, it almost looks like it's bubblegum at this point.
That's true too. Yeah.
Right,
dude. This is completely different. But what if it was like a cotton candy machine, and the cotton candy was like his hair coming out, and he was like ripping his hair out? But Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, his eyes do look like two bobas too.
Yeah.
He's like a sweet. What are those chibi eyes? Or what? There's like a certain style of eyes, right?
Yeah.
So that, people. Steve COD showed me one time a bunch of samplings of types of eyes, and they're almost creepy in a way, like these type of eyes, like but they make sense on inanimate things. Like it makes a lot of sense. I think that it was a smart choice, but it's like a niche subject and going a little wild with the colors. Like, you're not doing yourself a lot of favors for something that's very polished and clean art.
Yeah. It also makes me wonder where the chocolate ice cream came from.
It came out of the hole on the bottom.
Yeah.
He churned it the other way.
This is how they do it in Australia, counterclockwise.
But cool piece. Just some small stuff. All right, moving forward. It is for y'all Americans tomorrow, Memorial Day. So I figured why not have an honor week? So something to honor the service and the sacrifice for the people. So, full disclosure, completely AI here. But yeah, just have we had a service Kong, like a militarized regular Kong? I don't think.
I think didn't we have like drill sergeant Kong or something like that?
Ah, that's true. That's true. Okay. All right.
But this is more One Piece inspired. But have you ever watched One Piece?
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, a lot of the characters on there will wear their coats over their shoulders, but not over their arms, and like a lot of those characters are admirals. So I've been thinking about doing Admiral Kong.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, I think you could go in a lot of directions here. That chick makes me think of the one Matt Bell did with the pinup riding the torpedo.
Yeah,
yeah.
Bring that back.
Yeah.
But,
anything military themed, I think anything like honoring like valor or honor or service, even just Memorial Day. I'm Canadian, so I don't even know what Memorial Day is all about. So you guys can tell us.
Why don't you tell them all American Midwesterner?
Oh, I was hoping nobody would. No, I mean it's like for the dead servicemen, right? I mean, so memorializing them in a holiday. So, yeah, I mean, military theme makes sense. There's so many directions you could go.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few clinkers who are former military, that I'm sure will get down on this. I hope.
Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah, that would be nice to see.
So I'm Canadian, so we have November 11 as Remembrance Day. So this is kind of same thing, but ours is more so based on like a World War II thing, more so World War II Remembrance Day. A lot of poppies, Flanders Fields, that kind of stuff. But yeah,
I look forward to this. This will put some cool stuff out there, and I'll try to think outside the box. But yeah, I'm coming up blank right now.
I have some ideas. Maybe I'll send something to Soundwave 50,000.
This whole prompt stuff too was kind of like something that was derived from the Discord and just people wishing like, I wish they did more challenges. And then I kind of just echoed what you guys were talking about with the was it letter marks first? And then kind of just like, all right, I'm just gonna give you guys. And I've been doing this for like the last couple weeks.
It's nice.
And Casey's throwing in a couple too, but like it's getting harder and harder, man. But I'll keep trying. I know some people don't like it in the comments. I'm like,
they don't.
I think it's cool to have like a direction. It also forces people to go outside their box from what they're usually doing. Like I think that makes great artists, and like how many gems will come out because of that? Something that maybe you never tried before, right? And honestly, you get to owe it to you for coming up with the idea and pushing out there as a challenge. So I appreciate that, Leon. I think it's a great idea.
Well, I give the credit to everyone in the Discord for doing it. I'm just kind of trying to continue it as much as we can, and if anyone has any good ideas, I would take them at this point because I'm I'm struggling right now. I'm like, it's Memorial Day. Let's go.
Don't ask me right now. I just say something riding a vehicle.
The problem too is like sometimes when you give them too narrow of a week, it's like, does it infringe on other people's stuff? So like, all right, so May 20th was World Bee Day apparently. So I was like, should we just do Bee Week? I was like, but how many like people have already done bees? Is there like enough? And then I think the 24th is like World Geek Day or something.
Oh wow.
There was like a lot of ones that didn't make it. I'm like, oh duh, Memorial Day's on Monday, but so I've been kind of the last couple of weeks just asking ChatGPT like, hey man, what cool world days is like coming up? Like,
I mean, you could go real simple and do summer. You could do a summer theme, vacation, so stuff like that.
Oh, road trip week would be cool.
Road trip. Which I'll throw this out there, but just to stop anybody from thinking about it, I think it would be really cool to do fuzzy dice. I think those would embroider so cool.
That would embroider so cool.
Was it Jason V did it was like the smoke with the such a good one, man.
Yeah,
it was executed so nice embroidery too. It just came out and it popped really nice. Like it's It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, but I thank you two for being so gracious with your time and stepping up. We did have not an injury, but like someone called in and unfortunately was a little sick. So get better soon.
Yeah, we wish you well.
Yeah. They'll be on the show. They'll be on the show soon. But yeah, you guys stepped up admirably. So gracious with your time. We've been chatting for 2 hours, so.
It's a pleasure, Leon. We love you, dude. Like,
I'll have you guys on as often as I can, man. Like, I hope people, watch this and kind of give you guys a watch too. So, Instagram, Monday Evening Critz. Make sure you guys follow the guys Monday, 9:00 ish. You guys are always on when I'm trying to get back healthy. So usually I'm working out while
nice.
Yeah. Oh, nice. That's awesome.
So yeah,
you just be like, these guys are idiots. Makes you work out. I hate how
You're
stupid.
totally wrong, Eric. Shut up. That's a good inspiration.
I try to watch you guys. You guys didn't post last week's show, so I caught some of it, but I didn't see you guys post it. So hopefully you guys post last week.
Yeah, I gotta do it. That's on me. I should do it right after the show, but I have to be at work at 8 in the morning. I'm like,
and if they ever get posted and then disappear, it's because I realized I said something way off base. So I'm like, well, we're going to delete that.
But we do want to thank you and appreciate you for coming in and even showing us love on the show.
Absolutely.
And we value your opinion, and you're always like throwing in really great comments, and you're always talking in there, and we appreciate your interaction.
Well, it becomes a cycle, right? So like for me, I'll see something like usually when we do the crits, right? I'm not even trying to look at them when I'm making the slides. Then I have my initial like seeing.
Right.
We say what we say, I'm usually a little bit nicer. We say what we say, and then we'll see them on Sunday watching it with people. Then I get another viewing, like, okay, cool. And then the third time is usually your show. When you guys review it, I'm like, now I know, like, now I have an opinion and I'm stronger on it. So it's usually like this kind of like cycle. And it's good. I before I didn't like watching you guys go through the crits because then I was worried that like I would just regurgitate what you guys say. But like now I just was like, well, I'm just gonna watch it because I enjoy your show. So now I watch the whole thing now.
We appreciate you, man. We really do.
Yeah. But all right. So for Donnie, Eric, and Leon, we're out of here. Peace.
You're at the end of the world, as you know it, my dude. Time is up and you out of mood, so what will you do? It's the BP mercenaries not here to